There we go. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is in your local zone. I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior, January the 15th, 2024. I want to welcome everyone to our show today. This will be, we'll be here for about an hour, and then we're going to have our question and answer, followed by our premiere event. We also, for those of you who haven't seen us, we have a show on Thursday called Tech for Senior Live. If you haven't come along on Thursday and watch the show with us, you should try it. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on Thursday. We talk about all the news of the week, and last week we talked about CES. But it's not a Zoom meeting, so if you come here for our Zoom meeting, it's not here. It's actually over on we broadcast it through StreamYard out to our YouTube channel or to Facebook. So that's on Thursday. Now, if you I wanted to mention to everybody, thank you so much for this of course is our fundraising month, and everyone is being extremely generous, and we actually now have a sponsor for one of the 3 sponsors for our newsletter. And for that, I wanted to put a little video together, and I just wanted to share this with everyone. So let me just share my screen and play it for you. And you should always sign up for our newsletter sponsored by the Glenora Seniors Computer Club. I'm Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. January is our fundraising month. Hewie and I would like to thank everyone who have generously contributed. We are halfway there. The big news this week was the Glenora Seniors Computer Club are now a sponsor of our newsletter. So we would like to give them a big round of applause and thank them so much. We have 2 more spots on our newsletter for sponsorship, which means every time I say in the show, and you should subscribe to our newsletter, I'm going to say it's sponsored by the Glenora Seniors Computer Club. You could secure one of those 2 last spots for only $100 a year, and that includes 2 newsletters, and of course, me mentioning each week about your sponsorship. I'll put the link in the chat if you haven't already. Would sure appreciate your contribution to keep the show running for 2024. Thank you everyone who has donated this year. This week would like to thank Elaine Larson, Donna Kathoven, Jim Ham, Marcia Berkey, Betty Sheets, Dick Vogel, Stu Bortorf, Rod J., Linda Stewart, Bobby Dornhecker, Hugh Sexton, and of course the Glenora Seniors Computer Club. Thanks everyone for your support. We're almost there. Only 2 more weeks to go, and then we don't have to mention this again. I know we'll get your support as we have in the last 4 years. And again, thank you so much to the Glenora Seniors Computer Club for sponsorship of our newsletter. So of course I got this all made yesterday, and my apologies to the Glendora Computer Club. It's not Glenora, but it was an honest mistake because I was born in Edmonton, Alberta, and the nice area of Edmonton, we didn't live in this area, was called Glenora. And they had a sports center there that was a private sports center called the Royal Glenora Sports Center, and it was where all the famous Canadian figure skaters were trained. So it was always in the news and everybody always was talking about that, but it was Glenora. So I just assumed when I watched that it was Glenora, but not Glendora Anne-Marie. I am so sorry. But anyway, I have another 51 weeks to correct that, right? All right. Let me just unspot my... Hewie, how's your week going?
Well, it's already been a beginning of a very busy week. Yesterday was the Windows Special Interest Group for CFCS and STUG, and we had a good group, and we talked about a lot of Windows items, and I think we got to about half of my list of items that I wanted to discuss, but we get off on tangents and get going, and it was a really good meeting. We had a good attendance. Tomorrow, the Sarasota Technology User Group is having our quarterly get-together, but it's going to be a lunch honoring our volunteers. And so the volunteers get a free lunch and the other people have to pay only $10 and the club's going to pay the rest of it. And we've got 40 some odd people are going to be there. So it should be a good meeting, a good get together. It's strictly fun, doing a trivia and so on. Then Thursday, I got another luncheon for here where I live. And then Thursday, I got something, and Friday, I got a doctor's appointment. So it's a busy week.
Busy week. Bob, are you shoveling out of snow there, or what's happening over? You were a little cold last week.
Yeah, but we don't shovel. We just wait a couple of hours.
Ah.
It'll shovel itself.
All right.
No shoveling here.
No shoveling. All right. And then Bill, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Well, we're currently at 6 degrees. We have some snow, but not enough to shovel. And I'm using my Chromebook this morning. And,
yeah, you were saying about that. That's
really
cool,
having a wonderful experience with it. So
excellent. Yeah, we're gonna have some more Chromebook stuff coming up in the shows. Not today, but this in the next couple of months. So lots of new stuff happening with Chromebooks. And Ray, you're in Pine, Arizona. Are you? You're sort of in the snow belt, aren't you?
Not so much. We I think we get the bad weather first before it reaches most of our friends here in the rest of the country going east. We had 13-degree weather last week in the morning, but now it's almost 50 and there's a warming trend. So that's the good news for everybody else. There's a warming trend coming.
And of course, we have Chris and Jim Gould back from Hawaii, sporting a wonderful tan, and they're probably just gloating over all of us that have been freezing. And so welcome back, Chris.
Thanks. We're back in sunny Florida too, so it's still in the 70s and near 80 today. So yeah, we like the warm weather.
And you think maybe we have a few pictures to show you? Yeah.
Listen, you better be careful about that. We had a little vote while you were away, and they said, should we let them show their beautiful Hawaii pictures as well as snow's coming down? And I don't know about that. They had a little bit of dissension.
And we had 14 people all together, so we made a group Google Photos album. So it is just amazing, all the cool photos we have. You will have to see some of them, maybe next week.
All right. Oh, that's right. Because you went it was Jim's birthday, but you had a group of people you went with?
Right. Both family, friends, and people who were just Geeks on Tour members. We invited them, and we met some new people. It was fun.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's good. All right. Well, I'm glad you're back, and we look forward to a great season in 2024. Lots of fun things happening. All right, let's, Bob, do you want to take it away? Let's get the show rolling.
Here is my security news roundup for the week ending January 12th, 2024. 23andMe blames negligent breach victims, says it's their own fault. 23andMe even goes as far as to claim that this wasn't a data breach at 23andMe at all. The reasoning: unauthorized actors managed to access certain user accounts in instances where users recycled their own login credentials. That is, users used the same username and passwords used on 23andme.com as on other websites that had been subjected to prior security breaches, and users negligently recycled and failed to update their passwords following these past security incidents, which are unrelated to 23andMe. This is the second time the company has attempted to downplay the incident. Read more at malwarebytes.com. Facebook introduces another way to track you: link history. In what seems like yet another attempt to adapt its platform to prepare for new regulations, Facebook has started rolling out a new feature called Link History. Link History allows users to view and revisit links they have visited with their Facebook browsing activity. With link history, Facebook now has another separate place where it stores details about the websites you visit, along with the settings to control that data. Settings that are deliberately or not hard to find and easy to misinterpret. The company itself says, when you allow link history, we may use your information to improve our ads across Meta technologies. Read more and learn how to turn this feature off at malwarebytes.com. Beware, YouTube videos promoting cracked software distributed ℒ𝕠𝕠𝕠. These YouTube videos typically feature content related to cracked applications, presenting users with similar installation guides and incorporating malicious URLs, often shortened, using services like tinyURL and Cutly. Fortinet FortiGuard Labs researcher Cara Lynn said in a Monday analysis, "This is not the first time pirated software videos on YouTube have emerged as an effective bait for stealer malware. At least since early 2023, similar attack chains have been observed delivering several kinds of stealers, clippers, and crypto miner malware. In doing so, threat actors can leverage the compromised machines for not only information and cryptocurrency theft, but also abuse the resources for illicit mining." Read more at thehackernews.com. Microsoft's January 2024 Windows Update patches 48 new vulnerabilities. Microsoft has addressed a total of 48 security flaws spanning its software as part of its Patch Tuesday updates for January 2024. Of the 48 bugs, 2 are rated critical and 46 are rated important in severity. There is no evidence that any of these issues are publicly known or under active attack at the time of release, making it the second consecutive Patch Tuesday with no 0 days. These fixes are in addition to 9 security vulnerabilities that have been resolved in the Chromium-based Edge browser since the release of December 2023 Patch Tuesday updates. This also includes a fix for a 0-day CVE 2023-7024 CVSS score of 8.8 that Google said has been actively exploited in the wild. Read more at thehackernews.com. Google faces $1.67 billion damages demand at AI-related patent trial. Alphabet's Google went before a federal jury in Boston on Tuesday to argue against a computer scientist's claim that it should pay his company $1.67 billion for infringing patents that allegedly cover the processors used to power artificial intelligence technology in Google products. A lawyer for Singular Computing, founded by Massachusetts-based computer scientist Joseph Bates, told jurors that Google copied Bates' technology after repeatedly meeting with him to discuss his ideas to solve a problem central to developing AI. The lawyer, Kerry Timbers, said that after Bates shared his computer processing innovations with Google from 2010 to 2014, the tech giant, unbeknownst to him, copied his patented technology rather than licensing it to develop its own AI-supported chips. A lawyer for Google, Robert Van Nest, countered that the Google employee who designed its chips never met Bates and designed them independently of the workers who did. Read more at Reuters.com. Act Now. CISA flags active exploitation of Microsoft SharePoint vulnerability. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency has added a critical security vulnerability impacting Microsoft's SharePoint server to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog, citing evidence of active exploitation. An attacker who has gained access to spoofed JWT authentication tokens can use them to execute a network attack which bypasses authentication and allows them to gain access to the privileges of an unauthenticated user, Redmond said. The attacker needs no privileges, nor does the user need to perform any action. This vulnerability has been fixed, but you need to update to be protected. Read more at thehackernews.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. Creating a supercharged Copilot progressive web app. Copilot is great, but it's even better when you supercharge it. Learn how to pin this supercharged version of Copilot to your taskbar. Please watch my video on that topic by following the link listed. Did you know the first hard drive was made by IBM in 1956 and was called IBM Model 350 disk file? The first generation storage unit was huge, with a cabinet the size of a cupboard that contained 50 24-inch disks and held an impressive 5 megabytes of data. Today, more pictures are taken every 2 minutes than were taken in the entire 19th century. Just thought you might want to know. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it, we go nowhere. Thanks to Carl Sagan. And that's a wrap for this week's Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching and listening.
Thanks, Bob. For those of you who are all excited about the supercharging Copilot video Bob made, we'll actually be playing that later on in the show. So you don't have to go and actually find it and click it. So well done, Bob. Thanks a lot. Oh, just to let you know, Bob, in I think it was 1980, I bought a new platter for my Texas Instrument computer we were using in the office, and I paid $60,000 for a 40 megabyte, not gigabyte, 40 megabyte platter to go into that Texas Instrument. I paid $60,000, and it was used, and it was a used, so 40 megabytes. So
things have changed.
Things have changed a little bit.
Again.
So anyway, now the other thing is, I just want to remind everyone that at 1/2 past the hour, we'll be having our premiere version of that comes on, and I put the link in the chat for everyone. And today on our premiere video, Bill James is going to be talking about 11 Windows 11 tips. So that's sort of cool. That will be coming on. Huey's going to tell us all about SD cards, what they are, how big they are. And he's going to give you all sorts of information about SD cards. And I will be talking about understanding Google Drive on your Chromebook. So if you have any Chromebook questions, this is a good video on how to use Google Drive on your Chromebook. So those will all be at 1/2 past the hour, and I put the link in the chat for you. Ray, I think you're up next, talking about a popular topic for you personally, Ancestry.
Here you go, Ancestry.com, discovering your family history. Now, better late than never. What do I mean by that? Well, some time ago, I gave a Tech for Senior presentation on the DNA testing service 23andMe, and I explained that they were founded back in 2006, and they now deliver a direct-to-consumer genetic testing service. They provide various genetic-based reports that are obtained from an analyzed saliva sample that details ancestry traits and health-related issues. Now, at the time, I mentioned I had also joined Ancestry.com, which provides a similar DNA matching service, as well as their famed genealogy database. I committed that when I receive the results of my DNA testing from Ancestry, I do a comparison with 23andMe and tell you about Ancestry.com. I'm slightly embarrassed to say that that presentation was almost 3 years ago, March 8th, 2021 to be exact. The best I can say is, oops. All right, so what are the main services provided by Ancestry.com? Well, first, the Ancestry DNA test, as I said, similar to 23andMe, where you can use the results to learn more about your ethnicity, traits of your ancestors, and even connect with living relatives and other users to share information. On the website, they offer webinars and other tutorials, assist users as they learn about genealogy and family history research. Now, for me, their most important service is the ability to search their enormous collection of historical records so users can find information about their ancestors. One of the most important documents to review would be the U.S. Census records. Now, they date back to the first census in 1790. Census records are only released to the public after 72 years. So the 1950 census is the latest available to view, and I would guess many of you watching today can be found in this database. Now, census taking has changed. In modern times, a census questionnaire is mailed to the home for the head of the household to complete and mail back. Compare that to the not too distant past, where a census taker would come to the home and talk to the head of the household to learn about the members of the family living there. A variety of data would be gathered that when we look back to years past, it provides a wealth of information. So I'm going to compare now the 2020 census questions with that of the 1950 census. The information questions asked on the 2020 census were the name of the person completing the information and the relationship to that person, the sex of the person, the age, their date of birth, whether they were Hispanic origin or not, the race, and how many people living at that location as of April 1, 2020. Now let's compare that to the information that was asked for in the 1950 census. And remember, this was in-person interviews collected by people that were called enumerators. They wanted the name of the street, of course, and the avenue or road where the house is located. That was filled in the first column. Then the home or apartment number. They wanted to know if the house was on a farm or a ranch. And if it wasn't, was it on a location that was at least 3 or more acres? Now we get to the name of the person, the relationship to the head of the household, sex, the color or race, the age, the marital status. No, we're not done yet. Were they attending school? And if they did, what was their educational attainment at that point? Their place of birth, their citizenship. If they were foreign born, what year did the person come to the United States? The industry, business, or establishment in which the person works. Their occupation, their profession, or the particular kind of work done. Class of worker, that might be a laborer versus someone who worked in an office. So you can see the kind of information can be really useful as you look back today in 2024 to what our ancestors were doing in 1950. Then on Ancestry, you can build and maintain a family tree. So the way I do it is I start with myself, because that's the person I think all of us know the best, ourselves, and then add what you know about parents and grandparents. And then from there, you use the Ancestry tools to find historical records that match these family members. And again, looking at a census record, now you can see the names of the parents of the person and their ages. Then you can find out more information about them from even earlier records. With census records, you'll discover the names and places they lived, which you can add to your tree. And Ancestry.com will help you find other public family trees that have the same family members. So this family tree information, though, for living individuals, you should know that is always kept private. And then we have DNA matching. So the cost of the Ancestry DNA test kit is $99. And this will provide a list of other people who have also taken the DNA test and opted in for the connection results to be revealed. Now, these are the folks who are related to you based on your DNA. Ancestry compares your DNA and estimates how closely you are related, if at all, with those in their database. These categories can be close family members or very distant cousins. Now, they can have some unexpected results from the DNA sample. If you see a name that is listed as a close relative that you don't recognize, you can send them an email within the Ancestry system for further inquiry. Now, in my personal experience, within the last few years, Ancestry research allowed me to connect with and then meet a half-sister who lives about 100 miles away that I did not know existed. So as an adoptee, I was raised as an only child. But now, after many years of research, I have 10 brothers and sisters that are all half-siblings. A brother and sister passed away in this interim since I met them, so I'm glad I had the opportunity to meet, spend time with them, and get to know them. So the results from your saliva sample also provide a wealth of other genealogy information that can tell you about your ethnic and geographical origins from a reference population that spans over 1,000 locations. Ancestry Through Lines. This is a new service that compares the ancestors in your family tree with other trees that contain the same individuals. Then looking at the combined trees, you may be able to find new ancestors that you will want to verify with your own research that they are truly related to you. Now, what does my ethnicity percentages, why do they change? Well, my ethnicity estimate percentages and sources have changed since I first had my DNA tested. Why did this happen? What changed is how science is continuing to learn and understand DNA as they find new ways to analyze it. This can lead to new discoveries with updated results. So here I'm comparing now the results I've received from Ancestry.com as well as the ones I have from 23andMe. And you can see that in Ancestry, they go into a little bit more detail, where 23andMe just says I have 70.7% British and Irish. Ancestry breaks it down with Ireland, Scotland, England. And then there's the Ashkenazi Jewish that, as again, I mentioned once before, raised as a Catholic, baptized, communion, confirmation, and now I learn on 35, or in this case, 30% Jewish. Then working with local genealogy organizations. So my wife Carol and I recently joined the local Northern Gila County Genealogical Society in Payson, Arizona, where we live by. Carol has created a new website for them to better showcase the services they offer to the community. And I've helped them start a project to convert to MP3 files over 100 cassette tapes from the 1980s that contain junior high school students at the time interviewing their grandparents about their lives. So these are truly irreplaceable conversations that should be preserved for the families in the community. Then there's, of course, their international collections, including Canadian. Ancestry.com has many worldwide collections, and the Canadian collections include birth, marriage, and death records, military, immigration, and emigration records, newspapers, and periodicals. So if you're interested, you start with the Canada Family History Research page on the Ancestry.com website. So the subscription to access the database requires the subscription that costs $24.99 per month or $119 for 6 months. Now, often there are sale prices with up to a 50% discount. But these are kind of expensive. So while not as convenient as sitting in front of your computer at home, perhaps in your pajamas, most public libraries in the US offer access for free to search the Ancestry database when using one of their computers. You never know what or who you will find with genealogy research. If you or a family member have not done this type of research and created a family tree, this might be the time to consider making a commitment to tracing your lineage. My recommendation is to commit to an amount of your free time every day for online searching, and then take advantage of the 2-week Ancestry.com free trial. If this meets your expectations and you are hooked, sign up for the features you will want to use. You won't regret it. The end, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Ray. I'm really interested in that. I think this is a topic we should explore more this year. It's a lot of fun.
It is, and the learning is, some people say, "Well, I don't want to learn about maybe one of my relatives was in prison or something." That's the relative. That's not you. This is just learning where your history came from. And maybe there's so many people that focus on the Mayflower. They want to be a Mayflower descendant. That's a whole other topic.
Very good. Helen, we'll do the questions. Let's do the questions and the Q&A. All right. All right. TikTok. Hewie, what is TikTok?
Well, it's very popular, and most of the people on here not only don't use it, but probably don't even know what it is. So I'm going to try to at least expose you to a little bit of what it is and why you might want to see what's going on there. So let's make this full screen, and we'll start her up. Block. TikTok has exploded in popularity over the last few years, especially among young people. Here is a scary fact. A recent poll found that about 32% of adults under 30 are now getting political news from the video sharing app. With over 150 million monthly active American users, nearly half of the U.S. population, TikTok has become an influential force in shaping public discourse. TikTok's video-centric format appeals especially to women and to youth. Other platforms like Reddit and YouTube tend to be over-indexed with men. As TikTok continues to transform the social media landscape, educators and publishers must pay attention to how Generation Z and young millennials build knowledge and form perspectives there. Today, we're going to explore a world of creativity and connection through an app called TikTok. You might have heard your grandchildren or friends mention it. It's become a space where people of all ages can share stories, talents, and ideas in short video clips. You don't need to worry if you're not interested in making videos yourself. There's much more to TikTok than content generation. You can watch videos that entertain, inform, or resonate with your hobbies and interests. Let's dive in and see what TikTok has to offer. Let's start at the very beginning. What is TikTok? In short, it's an app enabling users to create, watch, and share short videos up to 3 minutes long. The videos incorporate music and range from dance trends to comedy skits to life hacks and everything in between. To get started on TikTok, you first must download the app from either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. When you open the app, you can immediately start browsing videos. Use the search bar to explore topics interesting to you. For example, search dogs, cooking, gardening, or AI tips and tricks. The app begins tailoring video suggestions based on what you view, what you like, and what you search. As you scroll through the main feed, you can double tap a video to like it, tap the heart to save it as a favorite, or tap to comment. To create your own video, tap the plus icon to launch the camera. You can record yourself or upload photos and clips from your camera roll. Apply special effects, backgrounds, sounds, and more before posting your creation to the TikTok community. At its core, TikTok is a smartphone app for watching entertaining, informative, or creative short videos. The first step is downloading the app from your phone or tablet app store. When you open TikTok, you'll land on your main feed. Scroll up and down to start browsing the endless stream of videos. Here are some key features. Tap the heart icon to like a video and offer support. Tap the comment icon to leave a remark. Double tap to quickly like a video. Tap the share icon to send videos to friends. You'll notice many videos feature music clips and sounds. This audio element is part of what makes TikTok popular. Tap on the sound link of any video to explore other videos utilizing that same music. Click on a profile image to visit someone's personal account and watch all the videos they have created and shared. Following specific creators is a great way to ensure you see content you enjoy. The powerful search tool enables you to readily find videos about almost any topic imaginable. Try searching for gardening tips, book reviews, cooking hacks, do-it-yourself projects, whatever you're passionate about. TikTok is a free smartphone app allowing users to make and share short, entertaining videos, often with music in the background. It's become hugely popular thanks to its engaging content and intuitive video editing tools. People can watch videos on any theme imaginable, from silly dancing clips to useful tutorials on just about any topic. TikTok's recommendation algorithm customizes your feed to reflect your unique watching patterns and interests. This personalized experience is part of what draws users to keep coming back. Who knows? You might just find a new hobby or creative outlet on TikTok. If you get this screen in TikTok, don't worry. You may just get some political news, or maybe even something worse. You can skip it if you wish. This was an example of a TikTok video that I watched. This was another example of a TikTok video, this one being tech in nature. I did a search for AI tips and tricks. This was a video that I got as a result of that search. If you do a search, for instance, AI tips and tricks, if you click on the users column, you'll see a whole bunch of possibilities that you can follow. By clicking on the red follow button, I selected the top one to follow someone on TikTok. By clicking on one of the results you find in your search, you'll get this screen. And if you look in the center where it says followers, this particular one had almost 1,400 followers. So it must be a popular choice, and it was one that I went ahead and followed. Getting started is straightforward. Just open the app and dive right into the vibrant world of TikTok. TikTok, where many get the news. I'm Hewie Poplock. Yeah, what made me want to look up, I don't use TikTok. Once in a while I watch them and they're interesting, but I just haven't gotten into it. And when I started looking, there's all kinds of things out there. And I read an article that the younger people are getting all their news from places like TikTok. That's scary.
Well, I'm sure there, excuse me here. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions about this in the Q&A. Very interesting. I got some bunch of questions as well. So anyway, I'm going to reserve those for the Q&A.
Yep.
So thank you for doing that. I think that was great. Interesting. Bob, are you going to tell us all about VPNs?
Number 1, is it legal to use a VPN? Yes, it's perfectly legal in most countries, including the United States, to use a VPN. While using a VPN, you might find some websites that try to block your connection, but this is an individual website's use policy and has nothing to do with the legality of the VPN itself. One thing to note, though, while it's legal to use a VPN, some of the activities done while using a VPN might be illegal. Such things as downloading pirated copyrighted content or accessing dark web markets are illegal whether you use a VPN or not. Number 2, do VPNs protect against malware and computer viruses? No, a VPN connection itself does not protect you from malware and computer viruses. It does, however, encrypt your internet traffic and keep prying eyes from accessing your browsing history. Some VPN services do, however, provide additional security features, such as ad and malware blockers. Additionally, many antivirus suites, like Avast One, now offer VPN services along with their security features. Although VPNs and antivirus software are used for different purposes, there is still a degree of overlap that makes using both tools together beneficial. Number 3, will a VPN affect my internet speeds? Most likely you will see a moderate speed decrease to your internet while using a VPN. This is mainly due to the process of your internet traffic being rerouted and encrypted through a VPN server before heading to its destination. The amount of latency you will experience through this process is down to the country's server you chose to proxy your traffic through. If you chose a server located on the other side of the world, then you would notice a much greater hit than if you were to connect to a server nearby in your own country. Thankfully, most modern VPNs should have the infrastructure to maintain high speed and secure data transfer rates. Though it's likely you can still browse and stream with no noticeable impact while using a reputable VPN. Number 4, will a VPN make me anonymous online? Unfortunately, it's not as simple as just turning on your VPN and disappearing off-grid. While VPNs certainly offer better privacy and security, they don't make you completely anonymous. There are a mind-blowing number of ways that companies track you across the internet, and a VPN isn't capable of blocking all of them. For example, when you sign into a website, your identity is revealed to that website. Or when you log into your Gmail account while using a VPN, Google can now collect cookies based on your browsing. Number 5, how many servers should my VPN have? There is no set number of servers that make one VPN better than another. However, most major VPN providers offer between 3,000 and 5,000 servers. Also, we recommend avoiding any paid services whose providers have under 1,000 servers, as this may be an indication that the company is not yet well established meaning that there is a higher chance for reliability issues. It is common for VPN providers to advertise the number of servers they have, but this is largely a marketing gimmick and doesn't generally equate to the quality of the VPN provider itself. Things such as the spread of server locations and server quality are as important, if not more so, than the number of available servers. There are many VPN choices beyond the ones mentioned in the article from Sam Singleton. You can find his complete article, which includes product suggestions, at the link listed. Stay safe, stay secure, and use a VPN anytime you're on open Wi-Fi or an insecure server. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching and listening. Creating a supercharged Copilot web app. Start by going to copilot.microsoft.com. Once you've done that, next step is to sign in to your Microsoft account. I'll be doing that and be back as soon as that part's done. Once you've signed in to your account, you now notice something new called plugins. Select the plugins, and from here, there are some things that you can add to Copilot. For instance, Instacart, Kayak, Clama, OpenTable, Shop, Suno. You noticed I have activated, and Sumo allows you to create songs just by typing words, and we'll look at that a little bit more further on in this video. Also, you can activate the search so that searches are all automatically empowered by Copilot. Now, once you've activated all the add-ons that you want to add to your list, the next thing is to make this a progressive web app. And to do that, go to the three-dot menu up on top, go down to Apps, and select Install this site as an app. It gives it Copilot by default. Let's call this one, since we've done some changes, and add Enhanced to it. Select Install, and here you can now select Pin to the taskbar, Pin to the Start menu. You can also create a desktop shortcut, or you can have it auto start on the device login. I will pin this to the taskbar and pin it to the start. Select Allow. Would you like to pin Copilot Enhanced to your taskbar? You'll have to say yes to allow that to happen. Once that's done, you're now all set. So let's close out this one and go ahead and go to our desktop and select it from there. I no longer need the browser because you'll notice that Copilot is now on the taskbar. It's in the overflow because I have too many icons open, but it's there. So let's select it to open it. And this is your supercharged Copilot. Make sure that you're signed in, because otherwise you won't have access to any of the goodies, the plugins. In this case, what we want to do is to use one of those plugins, and we want to use Make a Song with Suno. It is now using Suno, a happy song about tech for seniors. As you can see, it says using Sumo, and it's going to write a song about tech for seniors. And here is your song.
Time to surf the web. Swim with the grandkids, see what they say. Unlock the screen, swipe it with delight. Text not just for the young, it's for us, alright. Tech is for everyone, young and old. Discover new worlds, let your stories unfold. Tech is for everyone, let's explore the wonders of the digital forevermore.
Not bad. considering all I did was put in some words. And of course, you can copy it. You can share it with other people. I'm going to be copying the link because I might need it for something else. But that's how you can supercharge Copilot. Anytime you want to use the supercharged one and get access to the plugins, and they'll be developing more as time progresses, just open up your supercharged Copilot icon in your taskbar. Stay safe, stay secure. I hope that helps.
Oh, that was great. That has some really cool possibilities. I think that is really, really
And
amazing.
lots more coming as they release more of the plugins.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is that on all the browsers, or what browser did you use to make that up?
I used the Edge browser when I set up the Progressive Web app, but you could have done that in any
browser.
Right. Just make sure you sign into your Microsoft account to have access to those plugins.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. Well, speaking of music, I think it's time for the very popular part of our show where Ray gets to take over and give us some toe tapping music. Right, Ray?
Are we going to sign off from the others?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yes, for all those over on YouTube that are listening, thank you for coming. Please don't forget we have a Thursday show if you want to participate in that. If not, we will be back same time, same place next week. And we do have some room over on our main meeting now. If you want to pop over here off of YouTube and participate in the Q&A, that's great. And don't forget our premiere video coming up at the end of the hour, or end of the half hour. Thanks a lot, and I'll stop the stream.
Abraham, Martin, and John, a timeless song. The song Abraham, Martin, and John was written by Dick Holler in 1968. It was meant to honor the memory of Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., John F. Kennedy, and his brother Robert F. Kennedy, all who promoted social change and all who died at the hand of an assassin's bullet. By 1968, Dion DiMucci was a well-established singer with many rock and roll hits to his credit. But they were in the past, since at this point in his life and singing career, he was recovering from a heroin addiction. It was thought this song, very different from his previous material, could be a comeback vehicle for him. It certainly was, as it reached number 4 on the Hot 100 charts in the US and reached number 1 in the Canadian music industry publication RPM. The song has been covered by other well-known artists, including Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Moms Mabley, as well as Marvin Gaye. In 1994, the U.S. Congress passed a bill to dedicate the third Monday in January, today, as a national holiday known as Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as we honor his life and legacy. Many consider his I Have a Dream speech in 1963 as one of the most important speeches in the 20th century. And for me, his words that we judge others by the content of their character are as meaningful today as they were then.
Well done, Ray. Thank you. That's great. Yes.
So it was appropriate for today.
It was. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, it's come to that time where it's top of the hour and we're going to move into our Q&A period. If you have any questions, just put your hand up and we'll certainly attempt to answer that. Don't forget, we have at 1:30, we have our premiere video coming up. Bill James is going to give you Windows 11 tips. He's going to talk about SD cards, and I'm going to talk about Google Drive on your Chromebook. So it should be popular topics. I put the link in the chat. And again, you can find the link in our Saturday's newsletter, which is sponsored by the Glendora Senior Computer Club. And you can find the link in our Saturday newsletter. All right, Bob, go ahead.
A little comment about TikTok. very, very popular, but there are some very secure privacy concerns associated with TikTok. And the most alarming thing is that, as Huey mentioned, so many are getting their news from something that's controlled by the Chinese party. So, yeah, TikTok is fun to use. My recommendation is leave it for fun. Don't believe anything that you find on it. There's also been quite a bit of damage done to youngsters with competitions that seem to be very frequent on TikTok. So be careful.
Thanks, Bob. Good advice.
Yeah, Bob, I think it's important that we are aware as grandparents and parents and just being around other people that this information is out there. The TikTok is there and people are paying attention to it, that we ought to know what it is. And not so much, I'm not advocating that you use it, but just be aware of it and what it does, and the problems that it's, newspapers are struggling to survive, and yet people are getting their news from things like TikTok, and it's scary.
So Huey and Bob, I just have a question for you on that. Is now we have YouTube Shorts, which are shorts, of course, are the same idea. They're only 1 minute, whereas TikTok can go for 3 minutes. So what's the difference? I mean, you still can get your news on YouTube Shorts. Is there any difference between YouTube Short? Are we just talking about social media, or are we specifically talking about TikTok?
Well, TikTok, and the fact that it is coming from China, although the people who are posting it aren't, they're here, they're young people and other people here in the States. But yeah, Shorts from Google is very similar to TikTok, and obviously there's news available there as well.
Okay.
YouTube is not the Chinese Communist Party, and realize that TikTok, its owners directly related and answerable to China.
Right.
So as soon as you sign up with, even though they say no, that doesn't happen, when you sign up with TikTok, you're in essence giving your information to the Chinese party, in Communist Chinese Party in Russia, in China.
Right. Okay.
And ByteDance is the name of the company that owns them.
Correct.
So Anne-Marie, who of course is a member of the Glendora Seniors Computer Club, I want to thank. Do you know how many times I've mentioned that today? I think if you count it up, I think I've mentioned it 10 times. You are getting such a good advertising deal, right?
I want to thank you for all the recognition.
I'm being skipped over.
Oh, did we skip you over? You put your hand up. Where'd you go?
How about two hands? Hey, last week I didn't get to ask a question at the end of the show, and you said ask it this week. The only problem is I don't remember what the question was.
Well, we'll give you the same answer then.
Yeah, we'll give you the same answer.
I want to ask about the VPN. Are there countries that don't allow it? And what about if you connect to people? I assume you still can connect to them in their countries, right? This is directed towards Bob.
It depends on the country itself. There are countries that have very, very strict internet restrictions. And Ron can also attest to that because, well, for quite some time, you and your communicating with your daughter, there were restrictions and there were things you could and could not do. VPNs, of course, all countries know that I can be in a country that prohibits, but by using a VPN, I'm out of that country. So there may be restrictions, and some have a way of getting past it, and some other VPNs just don't work in those countries.
Well, the other thing I think is important that everyone understands, I think you agree with this, is stay away from any VPNs that are free. There is no such thing as a free VPN.
Right. If you have a free VPN, well, you're sharing, they're gathering your information. You want a VPN that gathers nothing. If they collect nothing, there is nothing anybody can get from that VPN. If your VPN collects no information, nothing can be subpoenaed for them to hand over because there was never anything there that they collected. And free ones, hey, they have to make their money somehow. So be careful.
I just had one last comment, and that was to Ray, that TikTok is China's ancestry.
I didn't know that.
I'm being a little facetious.
Oh, okay.
The fact is you're researching, everybody, how people are connected. They've got the biggest database of all.
I see your point now. Thank you.
Anne Marie from the Glendora
Yeah, I wasn't quite finished.
Seniors
I
Computer
wasn't
Club.
quite finished. I was just going to say we're very happy to support you because you give us so much information. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I don't know what our club would do without you. But I also wanted to mention something else as my phone's ringing. Goodness gracious. I wanted to mention about Amazon Emergency Services. Are any of you using it?
Amazon Emergency. Can you tell us about what is that an app on your phone?
Yes, it's with your Echo.
Oh.
And it acts like my ADT security. So if I call, say, Miss A, call emergency services, somebody comes on right away and asks me if I have an emergency, if I need help, if I need a 911 call. And they will also call my relatives, my designated contacts. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And I found out about it. And since I have echoes all through my houses, I thought it would be a good idea to have those. And as it turns out, ARP has a special right now. It costs only $4.49 a month for 24 months. So I did it and I tried it and it works great. So if I have a fall or whatever, because I don't always wear my Apple Watch in the house for fall detection, I thought this would be a good idea and I wanted to share it with you.
That's an excellent idea. I'm going to do a video about it for sure. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Good.
Does that special from AARP, does that cover the things like breaking a glass, the away services that Miss A?
No, you have to call you and talk to your Miss A. You have to call her. You have to say, Miss A, call emergency services, and somebody comes on right away.
Okay. It's not the other one.
They have this 24-hour, 24/7 service, phone service, and it acts just like my ADT security system. So I like it very much. Okay,
Henry,
thought I'd share that.
Yeah, okay. That's a good one. Yeah, that's really good. Thank you.
Henry,
is it part of because they also had a seniors, there was some sort of service that Amazon ran and it was for seniors and it was communicating between support people, and is this part of that package or is this
I think it is. I think it is. It's called Amazon Emergency Services, and it's one of your subscription apps that you can have through Amazon.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much. That's a really great topic and
it's a really wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I have them through my house, and anywhere in my house, they can hear me. So that's great.
Yep. Good one. Thanks for letting me know. And we will, of course, I'm going to follow up on that for sure.
Oh, all right.
Thanks. Jim Glass. Unmute yourself.
There we go. Regarding that service, prior to them starting it, I had to use services because of a medical emergency that I was having. I was stuck in a shower, and I was yelling for help, and nobody could hear me because of the location of the house. And then I remembered I had a Echo in my room right next to the bathroom. And I just called Alexa call, and I gave my wife's phone number, and it dialed her, and she was able to dial the paramedics and come get me. I later found out I could have said call 911, and it would have done that. And all of this, of course, was included within the fact that I had the so-called smartphone, a smart home. So that's another item. It doesn't cost anything. It sounds like what Anne Marie's talking about is much more efficient, but nevertheless, it saved my, from, really serious difficulty. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who don't have medical insurance, Amazon has paired with a medical company to offer lower cost medical services to people. I don't know the details. I just saw the blurb on it, and I thought I'd share it with you so that you can check it out if you need that kind of coverage.
Thanks, Jim. Just let everyone know, if you have ℍ𝕗 devices in your house, including your televisions, if you use the code or use the broadcast, say ℍ𝕗 broadcast, if you say the word broadcast, then what it will do is it will send that information out to all your devices in your house. So if you have, in my case, I've got different levels in the house, and if I was working in the garage and I wanted to and needed help, and Gail was upstairs in the bedroom, and I said, ℍ𝕗 broadcast, I need help, Gail, it would broadcast to all the devices in the house, including the TVs that are Amazon connected TVs. So just that's a connection issue with your ℍ𝕗 devices. Chris and Jim, are you sporting that? Sorry?
I was going to say, you can also use the word ℍ𝕗 announcement.
I guess, yeah, you could use
an announcement and pass it on. But it doesn't quite act like an intercom, because you can respond to it, but you have to say the same thing. Announcement, call so-and-so, or
right.
What is. My wife's had to use it since my phone went dead again.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So Chris and Jim, sporting the tan, welcome back. And maybe we'll see a few of your pictures next week, eh?
Yeah.
Well, Jim Glasser has a background similar to this, but I bet you he didn't take the video. I took this. But it is great to be back. We had a wonderful time, and
Did you do any diving there while you were there?
We just did some snorkeling. It was not intended to be any diving. That's just too much in the logistics, and that was a different thing.
Snorkel was wonderful though. Water was really clear.
You'll see some video of that.
77 degrees.
Yeah, not too cold.
Yeah, he took he took the video underwater with his smartphone with a special housing that he got.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a TikTok question.
Oh,
what is the maximum length? Now, I put my hand down because Ron then said it was 3 minutes maximum length of a TikTok video. But then I Googled it, and some things say up to 10 minutes. So, Hewie, do you have a...
My research on it was 3 minutes. So I don't know if there's longer or not.
I think maybe it's saying that you can record up to 10 minutes, but that you can only post up to 3 minutes. That might be what the distinction is.
Go. There we are.
I must tell you that I'm sort of addicted to you. I don't do shorts, make a lot of them, but I do watch them, and particularly if I'm interested in some topic of how to cut broccoli, or how to do something in the kitchen, or something I want to know how to do. I find it very helpful. And
there's great ones on how to peel a hard-boiled egg.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm thinking TikTok is one of those things that, maybe that's even a better way of, I don't know, it's worth looking at.
I'm already using YouTube. So yeah, YouTube shorts are good enough to me. I have not signed on for TikTok.
Yeah.
Ron, I can tell you that we spend hours creating a video for YouTube. We spend 30 seconds to create a short. We get 35 visits for our hour-long project, and we get thousands on our 30-second spot.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
It's not.
It's not fair.
Yeah, so that's me underwater in Kona on the big island of Hawaii.
There you go. Drew.
Hello. Just a couple of comments. One is a new Google Photos thing I learned yesterday. I attended a wedding, and at every person's seat, they had a little card with a QR code on it.
Oh, okay.
And everybody who scanned the QR code
Yeah.
automatically linked up to a wedding photo album on Google Photos. And I now have a new photo album in my collection. And anytime anyone at the wedding uploads a photo, I get a notification that there's a new photo.
Right.
That's what we'll be
And
talking about next week. Exactly.
Yeah, I
We
thought
have a
that was
photo
really-
album from our group, and it's wonderful to have all those.
It was really, really neat.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
so
remember
cool.
when we used to buy those little Instamatic
Yes, yes.
throwaway cameras?
Yeah,
You know, when at our wedding, we put an Instamatic, you know, a throwaway camera on every table and told people to take pictures with that and then give them to us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the old days.
That's the
Things
old
have
days.
changed a little.
Things have changed. Excellent. Well, we look forward to that. Jim Glass.
I try to avoid political stuff. TikTok is owned by China, as you mentioned. That information that they give out as the news is part of their attack on the United States. Just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not really after me. And this is a fact. Before they allowed TikTok into the US, it was wholly owned by China. They had to sell it to another company who owns 51% of it, but China, the country, owns the 49%. So every time you use TikTok, you're supporting that particular country. You just should know that when you go to that type of venue.
Yeah,
Thanks,
and I'm not sure who sets it up, but the different news services all have, do they call it channels? Not sure what they call it, but you can get ABC News, TikToks, and you can get NBC and Fox. So they all have a presence on TikTok as well as individuals doing it, not knowing what their affiliation is, if they have any. So the major news sources also are on there.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because one of the things I learned many years ago was to verify the news, try to find out what the facts were behind news articles. And it's become more and more difficult when the news is actually supported by a foreign government. And that's a fact. I mean, I'm not making this up, believe me.
Carl, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to raise comments about the ancestry search. There is the LDS Church of Latter-day Saints, that does offer free, it's called familysearch.com. You can create accounts there, and they are very good about, that's part of the philosophy of their tenets, to connect people worldly. And so everybody should have an account with Family Search with the LDS Church.
Good advice.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks. That's great. Good news. Thank you. Just in closing, just to remind everyone that if you haven't already donated, this is our fundraising month. If you haven't already donated, I'd sure appreciate. I put the link in the chat. That would be really helpful. Also, coming up in 10 minutes will be, of course, our premiere video. And finally, if you haven't downloaded and used the YouTube app on your phone, I would really encourage you to do that. You can see all the videos on YouTube on your phone, and the app is very well designed, and I use that on my phone for watching all sorts of videos about technology and stuff when I'm doing other things. So that's sort of cool, and I would encourage you to do that if you don't have the app on your phone. Huey, any final comments before we go?
Yeah, Ron, to continue on with what you're saying, is if you stream at all or have a smart TV, YouTube is generally on all of them. You don't even have to load it on.
That's right.
And you can watch anything that's on YouTube, you can watch on your TV with a nice big screen.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much. We will see everybody back again next week, same time, same place. And maybe we'll have another sponsor for
Thursday.
And don't forget Thursday. Yeah, we'll be around on Thursday. And We may even have another sponsor for our newsletter. Remember, it's just $100 for the year. And just look at all of the times I mentioned Anne Marie's Computer Club today. It's the deal of the century. Only 2 more spots. See everyone. See everyone next week. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you Thursday.